They need to make a campaign called Black Folks Matter. Black Folks Matter. Get a t-shirt. Black Folks Matter in horror films. Because still to this day, the black people get killed in the movies. Always like that. Since the 70s, Friday the 13th, Halloween, all those movies, any kind of sci-fi movie, they always show the black folks get killed first. They always get killed. They used to be in the beginning of the movie. Now you don't know, but every time you see a black face, you know, oh man, he's in trouble. That dude right there is going to get got, and that's what happens. Silent Place 2 just came out too long ago. Had the dude from Amistad, the black dude from Amistad. Now I'm thinking like, oh, dude gonna survive, right? Because you know that's the Amistad actor. He gonna survive. He's a celebrity. He's the big star. He's a big star, right? Man, they ran to that house. Man, y'all see the movie? He was running to the house. He got in the house with the main star of the movie and the little girl that can't hear, need the little hearing aid thing. And he's standing by the garage door where it's open. You're like, it's okay, bro, move away from the garage. Move away from the garage. He's standing talking about, I ain't going back. I'm not going. I'm like, come with us. Just come with us. They trying to save him. Then the creature reach under the garage and snatch him by both his feet. Yank him out like a gangbanger. Pull him out and he getting ripped up. They gone. I'm like, man, that's messed up, man. That's messed up. And then earlier on in that movie, same thing. They run into the restaurant, everybody's quiet, right? All the white folks, they all quiet because they know to be quiet because these things, they go by sound, right? And they got a sister with her boyfriend and she's on the cell phone like this. Monica, the creature's coming. Yeah. And you know you're supposed to be quiet. Then you see everybody else is all quiet, lady. Why are you sitting on the phone? Yeah, they're going to get her. And she's like this. And then she gets smart and she hangs up. And I'm like, oh, good, they ain't going to get it. But what happens? What happens? The phone rings. And the creature's breaking her and they rip them up. I'm telling you, man, black folks always got to go in a movie. Can we get a movie where the black people survive? But things have changed a little bit. Gotta say it. They're starting to come out with black scary movies where the black people are the creatures or something. Candyman. Yep. He gets you. Say his name 3 times in the mirror and he gets you. Yep. So it's getting better. Yep. They're giving better roles to the black folks, but still, for the most part, we still get got first. I hope they change that scenario. I'm here to talk about those public embarrassing moments. We all have them. We all suffer them. I'm in a grocery store one day, and I got on my little slim fit jeans. Some people might refer to them as skinny jeans. I like to say slim fit because I don't like to go real tight, but slim fit, skinny fit, they all kind of same. But anyway, I'm walking down the aisle and I slip on some pickle juice. And I go into a full split. Yes, sir. Full split, and it hurt real bad. And I try to get up, and as I'm getting up, fighting to get up, my pants split straight up the middle because they're really tight. And my jaw started hanging out. Craziest moment ever in my life. Very embarrassing. And the manager comes out and he says, sir, there's no dancing in the aisles. I'm not dancing. I just split my pants, slipping on some pickle juice. Mop your floors. I'm in a line one day. And I'm all happy because I'm paying for some liquor and the cashier says, sir, can I see your ID? So I'm all like, oh yeah, I still look young. I still got that look, huh? Thanks, bro. You just made my day. You know, he's like this. Sir, I ask everybody for their ID, no matter how old or young they look. Why would you ask me for my ID if I look old, you idiot? But I was embarrassed because I got to party in when I shouldn't have partied. I was celebrating when I didn't need to celebrate. I don't get it these days, man. There's just so many embarrassing things that happen to you in the public. One day I was on the bus. I'm sitting there and my nose started itching. And I started digging and scratching. I didn't know that people was paying attention to me. Then I pulled my finger out of my nose and I got one of those real long boogies. I didn't think it was going to be a real long one. And I was trying to get rid of it. And it was stretching from my nose on my finger. I was trying to shake it off and I couldn't shake it. And I shook it off and it went across the other side of the bus on the side of this old lady's face. Still stretching from my finger. Very embarrassing moment in my life. And I tried to explain to the lady, I'm sorry, I didn't mean that, and I got arrested. One day I go to a liquor store to buy some beer, and I'm paying for the food with money that was counterfeit. Didn't know it was counterfeit because the place I was at before, I bought some stuff and I was giving back cash and it was fake money. And the lady held up a $20 bill and it was the face of Martin Luther King Jr. on the bill. I don't know why I didn't notice that, but they called the police on me and I ran. Go to the grocery store, you try to find the feminine products for your wife. So what you do is you walk up to one of the cashiers and you go, "Excuse me, can you tell me where the tampons are?" "Tampons in aisle 3, sir, on the left-hand side of the aisle. When you walk down to the right, you'll see them near Kotex, feminine pads, pads this, pads that." I get it. You don't have to tell me that. You walk down the aisle and you're standing there looking at all the products and you're thinking, you're going, and you got that little old lady that knows she don't even have the cycle no more. She comes and she says, "That one right there, young man, and the purple package there is what the missus wants." "And how do you know, lady?" "Yeah, look like a dinosaur, but you know, you follow her direction, you get it, you take it home," and your wife says, "But you forgot the pads to go with this." Life's embarrassing moments. You go back to the store and you have to take the pads back to the register to get your money back or to make an exchange. And there's always a million people standing there looking at you while you're making this transaction. Makes you want to just run. My wife got that for me. Papi. That's what she called me. Yep. She's from El Salvador. And she don't play. Most Latina women don't play. Never upset a Latina woman. Mm-mm. And if you do, expect to get cut, stuck with a knife or something, not fed, cursed out in Spanish, real fast. If you don't speak Spanish, you won't understand what the heck they're saying to you. And they'll say it to you, cuss you out, smiling. That's even more scary. If they're cussing at you and yelling at you in Spanish while they're smiling. Hide the knives, though. Do that. Do yourself a favor. Save yourself. They don't play. And it's a privilege to get called Papi. And it's Papi. My wife always correct. Papi. And if you make her upset, she calls me Antonio, because her middle name's Tony. So I know when she's mad at me. Like when she make dinner, you know, she made some pupusas. That's a very popular Salvadorian dish. And while I'm eating it, the first time I ate one, I was kind of like, and she's looking at me like this. "Is there something wrong, Papi, with the pupusa?" I'm like, "Well, no, it's a little, you know." "What's wrong, Antonio?" So she said, "Antonio." And I'm like, "Okay, I did something wrong." Yeah. You don't want to just, even if it don't taste good, make it taste good. Or you're going to have problems if you have a Latina woman. When we started dating, though, I was kind of like wondering, you know, if she was dangerous, because she was kind of scary when I met my wife. You know, we dated for about 6 months before we got married. But the first, I'd say, week or so, it was scary because, first of all, she didn't dress like the typical cute little Latina woman. She dressed like a gangbanger. Oversized black clothing all the time. Beautiful face, but oversized black clothing. And, you know, I lived in a nice part of Long Beach where when I met her, I was living on the beach. And we started dating, and she lived further east near Snoop Dogg's little neighborhood. And I saw her the first time we met up. She took a cab to my house, but I walked her and said, "We can walk. You can walk me home. You know, I don't live that far." I'm like, "Okay." So I'm walking home while we're walking. You know, she's not really talking much. I'm talking, doing all the talking. She's real quiet, and she looked at me a few times. She winked her eye at me, you know, while we're talking. I'm like, "Okay." And she said a few things to me in Spanish because her English wasn't that great, but I was, you know, I was caught up because she's beautiful. And I noticed as we're walking, as the neighborhood, as we're walking to her neighborhood, the neighborhood started kind of changing. It went from really nice where I live at to like kind of not too great looking to really bad. Yeah, really bad. A lot of gang members around and stuff like that. And mostly Spanish gang members, you know. And I was like, is this where you live at? She's like, yes. So I gave her a dap because she didn't want to let me kiss her on the cheek, and I ran. I ran back home all the way. And I was like, do I want to see her again? And yeah, next time we linked up, I made her dinner, and she was real quiet. And I was talking and talking, and she said, you know what, you talk too much. And I said, okay. She said, yeah, I never met a man that talked as much as you. You talk too much. And I said, okay, what do I need to do? She said, shh, don't say nothing, just sit there. And she looked at me, just sit there. I fell in love with this woman. I think I fell in love with the fear, the scariness. I mean, it can be very territorial. Very territorial. Oh, yeah. So we went on a double date one evening at a club. And so me and the homeboy, we sitting at a table, and wifey and his wife, they were out on the patio, you know, at the club talking. And so the owner of the club comes over to introduce herself to us. So she started out with hugs. She hugged the homeboy. And when she went to hug me and introduce herself to me, my wife got in the club so fast from the patio in between us, like Superman. It was like, how you doing? Shook her hand. I'm the wife. I'm like, okay. And the lady was like, okay. Yeah. Bye. That was the attitude. I'm telling you. Those are the things you got to deal with. You don't play when it comes to a man. We at the grocery store. 95-year-old ladies in line with us. We about to check out. I turn around, this 95-year-old woman's looking at me. She winked, smiled, you know. Maybe she was complimenting the lovely couple in front of her, young couple, that's us. And I'm like, you know, tip my hat to her and wave at her. I turn around. My wife is staring at me. What are you doing, Papi? Antonio? Because, you know, when they get mad, the name comes out. I'm like, babe, I was just saying hello to the nice lady. You don't talk to no other woman, Papi. You don't do that. I'm like, babe, she's 95 years old. Look at her. I didn't ask you, Papi, how old she is, Antonio. Don't make me cut you, Papi, in this line. You're embarrassing me. Yep. Things you gotta deal with when you got a Latina woman. No, my wife loved me. I love her. COVID got people these days really aggressive, especially homeless people. I'm coming off the freeway the other day, headed to work, and as I'm riding down the street, there's this homeless guy standing in the middle of the traffic on this little island with a sign in his hand. And not the big one, the typical one that says, we'll work for food, or please feed me, I'm hungry. No, this guy had a sign this small. And driving, you are not going to be able to read a sign that small, so you got to pull over. And he knows it, so I pull over. I'm holding the traffic. I run over, and I'm like, okay, hold on, my man. I'm going to help you out here. But what's your sign say? Please put your hands in the air. This is a stick up. He got me. Before I could say anything, got a gun in my face. Took my wallet, my keys, and my car. Gone. Taught me a valuable lesson. Taught me how to do the same thing, because he did leave me the sign. So I'm standing there waiting for the next victim. Gonna get me one. Smarter. Had a guy a couple of weeks ago pull up in a nice Suburban, real nice Suburban. Gets out, walks over, and he says to me, excuse me, buddy, I'm trying to feed my wife and my kids. He got 4 kids in the car, his wife. You know, he says, I don't normally do this, but we just, you know, came across country from Arkansas, and we could use a little something to eat and some, you know, some hygiene products. Can you spare $200? Yeah, folks don't ask for like $5 anymore, or $1. It's just some change. He asked for $200, but you got to respect him. And so he says, hey, honey, wave at the nice man. As my kids say hi, kids. I'm like, yeah, okay, but you need $200. He says, please, I'll give you my email address, my website, my business card. Trust me, I'll make sure you get it back. like I said, you got to respect him because he's a businessman. Now, this is one smart homeless dude, right? Because he did something that I would do as a salesman. Start high. You start high, you're going to get what you really want. And that was $100. That's what I gave him. Don't call me dumb. I'm a salesman. I understand. I respect the game. I respect his craft. See, he went high because he knew what he really wanted was $100. I gave him $100. That's right. And he hit me upside the head with a stick and got the rest of my money while I was smiling at the kids who weren't really his kids. There were some kids he found at Chuck E. Cheese and he bribed them with some money. I come to find out later on. And the woman he had just met 2 hours before he met the kids, and they stole the SUV from off a used car lot. Found that out on the news. I was like the 5th victim. I should know better because I live in LA, but I'm from Pittsburgh. Does that answer your question?